Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. So today I want to talk about ownership or buy-in and how do we get that from anybody really, but I want to speak primarily to our men and women in the field. What do we use to motivate them? As with anything, people are not going to invest in something unless they see the value of it, right? So we see the return on investment in many areas in business and in construction. But how do we get our men and women out there to see the value of safety? How do we get them to have a vested interest in working safe on a day-to-day basis? And I do this exercise with a lot of my classes, and I posed a question. If we look at the who, what, when, where, why, and how of safety, which one of those is going to bring the most motivation to our trades folks out there? And there's no wrong answer, really. You could say who, right? Who's responsible? Everyone's responsible. You could say what do I have to do? What has to be done? What is the right way to do something? Same thing with when, right? When do I tie off? When do I need shoring or protective system in my trench and excavation? But the one that I think is the most valuable is the why, and for years when I was in the trades, I would be told every now and then, we're not paying you to think, we're paying you from the neck down. But we want our folks to understand the whys of safety. And this forces us as safety folks or as employers or foremen or superintendents, project managers, directors, whatever the case may be, this forces us to invest time in those individuals and taking the time to train them and coach them and mentor them and let them know why it should be important to them to work safe and go home to their families at the end of the day. Let them know why it's important to us as their supervisors or managers or whatever the case may be, why it's important to us that they work safe and go home at the end of the day as well. So when we're looking to get people invested, if we're saying, hey, this is the rule, you got to follow it. If it's just about the rules, you're not going to get the buy-in, and there's the old saying that says, rules were meant to be broken, which really isn't the case. But the saying is there for a reason, because we know that if we're just out there preaching rules, if I'm walking around with the policies and procedures, if I'm walking around with the OSHA regulations, and it's just about the rules, people are not motivated when you come to them and say, hey, these are the rules. Now, the rules are there, the policies and procedures are there, the regulations are there for the safety of the worker, but we don't want to communicate it in such a way that it's we're communicating the rule. We want to be communicating the rule in such a way that we're showing that we care. There's another old saying that says, no one cares about how much you know until they know about how much you care. So you can walk around with all of the knowledge in the world, but if you're not communicating to your folks how much you care for them, you're not going to get their buy-in. And the fact that we rely on them for safety as much as we rely on them for production should really motivate us, drive us to make sure that that they understand that we do care about them and that we are communicating the whys. So as a safety professional, if someone comes up and says, hey, why were you talking to that guy or gal for so long? They need to get work done. If you're communicating the whys of safety and why it's important and why they should care and doing the coaching and the mentoring, you're really taking an opportunity to make it personal with that individual, then you're going to get the buy-in. You're going to get them to take ownership for their safety. So, the who's important, the what, the when, the how, the where, they're all important, but we want to make sure that we're communicating why safety is important. So I think it's a really good message. I've been sharing it for years. hopefully this will, help others as well as, how to get that return on investment, how to get them taking ownership for their safety. So with that, have a good rest of the day.